our next presenter is Dr. Salvatore Amanushi. Title of his talk is Geotechnology and Innovation Course in the Metaverse. He has degrees in math and in computer science. He is Associate Professor of Geotechnologies and Innovation at the University of UV. Courses in geomarketing, geotechnology for tourism, digital cartography, remote sensing, GIS. Rectors, delegate for sustainable and representative in the network of universities for sustainability, shareholder of Albertech University spin-off and innovative startup for the application of artificial intelligence and geo big data to subject matter experts. Coordinator of the Geomatics Lab at the university, and is also the coordinator of Reuse Portal, visiting professor at CEPT University, India, in collaboration with other foreign universities, Penn State, MIT, Florida International, on and on. Coordinator of national and international projects in the field of geotechnologies for private companies, public administration, and internalization for ICT companies. Is it IoT or ICT companies? In recent years, research and application in AI, AR, indoor navigation, and geobit data from social media and mobile.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. So the goal of this presentation is a little bit different from the one that I saw this morning and this afternoon, but anyway. The goal of this presentation is to describe the advantages, both the student side and the teacher side, of the use of metaverse, of the lessons and courses in the metaverse. So I only add one thing, that in 1992 I was I founded the first Italian GIS company, so the first company in Italy working on using GIS as geomarketing, fleet tracking, and so on. I went on having fun working in the company for 10 years, and then I switched to the university where I keep on having fun. Udine is in Italy, is in northeast Italy, so as you can see, we are 50 kilometers from Slovenia, 50 kilometers from Austria, 30 kilometers from wonderful beaches, 50 kilometers from the Dolomites, so we can ski, we can go to the beach. So it's quite an interesting place to live in. And I am responsible of the Geomatic Lab of the university. We started in 2005, and these are some samples of projects. So as you can see, geomarketing, land use changes, fleet tracking, remote sensing. We are working for indoor positioning projects for museums using iBeacon and Wi-Fi and so on. In the last couple of years, we have been we started working with cell phone, we call it geo big data, because our region has done an agreement and is buying this data since 5 years. And these data are very precise data in order to analyze the movement of people, the origins of people present in events or in tourist areas and so on. I don't go through the technicality, but of course you don't buy the data of a single SIM, but you buy aggregated data. Usually the aggregation are cells of 150 per 150 meters. So every 15 minutes, you know how many people there are in each cell and where they come from. And from that, you can start to do any kind of work. This is a sample of how people from US is moving in Tuscany and people from Italy is moving in Tuscany, of course. As you can see, totally different. The US tourist doesn't know Isola d'Elba, which is a very nice place, because we realized that it's not in the paper guides. And so they integrated Isola d'Elba in the paper guides, and in the last 3 years, people started visiting. This is a sample on how it's possible to analyze the paths between, this is Florence, Basilica di Santa Maria del Fiore to Ponte Vecchio. So if you have, for example, to rent a place to sell souvenirs, if you have this kind of information, it can be useful. Anyway, let's go to what I wanted to present you today. So, apart from the geotechnology topics, which is part of my course, I almost every year I add new modules to describe the main future technological trends. So, in the last, let's say 10 years, starting drones, LiDAR, VR, AR, virtual augmented reality in field service. We had a lot of experiences. We have been working also in the Emirates to support companies in starting field service projects. A couple of years ago, 3 years ago, artificial intelligence, as you heard, I am a shareholder of a spin-off of the university. So the university decided to spin off the Artificial Intelligence Lab and Geomatic Lab together in a company in order to support the small medium enterprises of our region in starting using geo-artificial intelligence, let's say. And the cell phone big data that you saw before. And last year I added the metaverse as a topic because talking about innovation, metaverse is one of the topics that in this moment are, let's say, on the hype. First of all, let's say what's metaverse. I go very quick. This is what Mark Zuckerberg says. You can think of the metaverse as an immersive internet. Instead of just viewing contents, you are inside the contents. Okay. In order to define a metaverse platform, you need to have a 3D virtual environment, so people able to build 3D environments. The platform needs to be immersive, so if you're using certain kind of device, you have to feel to be in the environment. Needs to be interactive. For example, if you are visiting a museum in the metaverse and someone else is visiting at the same time, you meet him and you can speak with him and you can ask him. So it's not a virtual visit of the museum, it's something which is interactive, which allows more people to connect and discuss. It's persistent. It means that, for example, that's a room of our university is there 24 hours a day. So if the students want to get in, they can get in the room, they can write on the blackboard, and if someone is coming after this one, after this student sees what he wrote in the blackboard or sees what he has been doing using a certain digital twin and so on. And interoperable, it means that it has to, the different platforms need to be able to speak each other, to understand each other, but also they can be able to interact with other applications, so smart TVs and so on. This is a mixed event which is in the metaverse and in real. To enter the metaverse, you have to define your own avatar, and you can enter using different types of devices, of course immersive devices, but also tablet or PCs. The experience we have done in the university this year were through PCs and tablets and smartphones. So what we have done last year, a very simple lesson on the metaverse. the technology, some use cases of application of the metaverse, and a new profession. So what's changing in the next year regarding the profession? While I was doing this lesson, I was thinking how useful could have been the metaverse in my course, not a lesson on the metaverse, but a course in the metaverse. And so this year, apart from this first lesson, I organized a lesson in the metaverse on one of the topics of my course. So this year it was GPS technology and application. So I was teaching and I was training people on GPS and application of the GPS in the metaverse. So they were not in the room, they were with their own avatar at home or somewhere else, and we were in a room, as you will see later. And then we decided to organize a 7-lesson course on the metaverse, in the metaverse. So it means talking about metaverse, but not in classrooms, but inside the metaverse. Students of any faculty and of any year, so for this course, there were 50 places, they were booked in 2 hours, and usually we have, let's say, around 60% of the people in classroom. In this case, 95% of the people of presences in the lessons in the metaverse. In order to organize a metaverse course, you need a metaverse platform. You need someone able to create meta spaces, meta rooms for the lessons. You need some digital twin to explain to the students. You need avatar management tool. You need, okay, we found a company that we did an agreement between this company and the university, and this company with this platform was fitting exactly our needs. Now I will try, but I'm not sure. Yes, I don't know how it works without doing anything. I don't see anymore the. Okay. This is 1 minute of video of our lesson of one of the lessons of our course. So the first hour was physical, so you can see we were in a classroom. But this is the environment that was created for the second lesson. These are the avatars of the students. They are sitting in front. We are sharing videos, sharing slides. This is a digital twin of a machine. This is a digital twin of an object that was described. They were entering different spaces. They were discussing different topics. And we did, and you will see later why, we did different rooms because we wanted to collect information, and now I will show you which kind of information. Let's see if I can go back now to the, sorry, probably here, yes. 3 minutes. The effects on the students, huge increase in the average presences, as I told you. Increase of interaction, you don't show your face, you are with your own avatar, so they raising hands, discussing, asking, without any problem. While when they are in the classroom, they can have some let's say, problem. Avatar, I saw that some students were changing avatar lesson by lesson, and they said, I change avatar depending on the mood I am today. I'm angry, today I'm happy, and so they were changing avatar. And in the last year, more than 50% of the thesis that I am responsible of are metaverse related. Okay, some projects. The most important thing, let's say, teacher side, is that there is a dashboard. Here you have, okay, user timeline, when is connected, who is connected. Reaction, this is more interesting. angry, sad, neutral, happy, like, clapping, and so on. You have the heat map of the movement of the people inside the meta rooms that you created for your lessons. You have the item focus, so for each video, for each display, for each digital twin, you can analyze the type of focus, how many people stop there, at which distance. So you have a lot of information on what the students are doing during the lesson. You have interaction among users. So who is talking, when they were talking, the network of the groups, who is the leader of the group. So when they work in groups, which is the interaction. Time spent, average attention. Of course, they have privacy. They can decide not to use the webcam, but using the webcam, you know if he's looking at the screen, if he's doing something else, if he's talking with someone else, and so on. Use an attention trend, okay, hour by hour, minute by minute. So what's the important thing that I want to get to here? My side, how to improve, as I know, any minute, which is the attention, which is all the information from the classroom, which is something that you don't have when you are live, let's say. This Metaverso gives me the possibility to improve material, to choose the 3D virtual environment depending on the topic of the lesson. If I do a lesson on the remote sensing, instead of doing in a classroom, I do it in a 3D satellite flying over the Earth, and I show them what the satellite is doing any moment. How to improve the organization, the sequence of the topics, how to manage the pace of the lesson, so interval, voice, gesture, so I can test, modify my lesson, and see the feedback through the dashboard. To conclude, I want to give you one more message. In Europe, there is the first call of the Cityverse Cloud EU, which is expecting geotechnology experts and metaverse experts to collaborate in order to create a cityverse of some European environment with a focus on smart communities, sustainable mobility, climate resilience, energy flow, zero pollution. So the message is, in the next 2, 3, 5 years, we will have all they need to understand and use the metaverse, because investments will be huge, and let's say the feedbacks from the students are very interesting, and the results teacher side also.
Thank you. Do you have questions for Dr. Salvatore? Robert?
Quick question. So you mentioned that with the metaverse, your engagement went from, I believe, or your attendance went from 55 to 85%. Was that correct?
95%.
95%.
Yeah.
So that's just students showing up for a particular lecture. Do you find, like, the worst thing about Zoom lectures is staring at a black wall of nothingness while you talk? Do you find that the actual engagement, though, is better?
Yeah, the 95% of the people is interacting with the lesson, with the professors, with the digital twins, with the devices that are shared in the rooms very much. It's really, I did a couple of years, 3-4 years of Teams and Zooms and so on, and it's really incredible. You have continuous.
What's happening is the students then are, from their perspective, they are seeing like other students sitting around. They're seeing the professor.
They see they are sitting in the classroom with their colleagues. They see the professor. They can rise and go and shake hands with the professor. They can raise hands. They can discuss with their colleagues. They can do. It's let's say almost real.
And that's causing them to talk more.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's Shane had just like a question. Go ahead.
Can you handle the hands-on lab exercise in that environment?
Sorry.
Can you handle the hands-on lab exercise in that environment, like a
Yeah,
TVS?
hands-on, we have done something with some IoT device connected, so they could modify the configuration of IoT devices and so on. And if you have the digital twin of the devices, of the objects you are going to describe or use, you can really touch and activate, modify the configuration of the devices. So we have done some labs in the metaverse.
What does the setup look like for an instructor trying to put something like this in place? Is there a lot of coding, or is it like?
It's not coding. Of course, we have been using this company, and they're experts. I'm not able to create a meta room or a meta space or something like that. They do it for you. But to give you an idea, when I was saying and I was describing the room I needed, 3 hours later I had the meta room ready. So those how many seats, which kind of environment, how many displays, which kind of digital twins, 2, 3, 4 hours. For what I understood, the platforms are really very configurable, so it's parametric and it's not a big problem.
Is that a quick question?
Yeah, just to confirm though, what you're indicating, building on what my colleague just asked. Was there any additional level of effort used the instructor had to really do, or was your level of effort in terms of material content design in essence one the same with your involvement with Star
I
Trek?
started with my standard material, and while doing lesson and having feedbacks from the dashboard, I went on modifying lesson by lesson.
Okay.
You have lots of feedbacks, and so you use them.
Thank you.
Sorry.
The next speaker is Dr. Robert Radovanovich.